What's going on, people? What's going on? Finally, this is a huge milestone that I never thought that I would really be able to get to on YouTube. Right now, we're at 4998 subscribers, two away from 5,000. The schedule got released today, so I said, why not do the 5K stream pretty much the same day that the schedule comes out? So, man, I 5,000 subscribers on YouTube to me is crazy. I used to do this as a hobby for years, and I never thought that I would hit 5,000. So I just definitely want to take the time to thank everybody who's ever subbed, thank everybody who's ever watched, shared, commented. I mean, it means the world to just talk football with you all. Even fans of other teams that hate all of my opinions, even Giants fans that hate all my opinions. I just really appreciate everybody that subscribed. So big thanks, first of all, to everybody that hit the sub button. Let's see. Are you guys hearing me? Let's make sure I'm coming through all right. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I'm coming through. But anyway, I just wanted this stream to be pretty much just a schedule preview, a kind of a schedule, kind of what you all are thinking about the schedule. I just dropped a video about an hour ago about what my official kind of predictions were for this schedule. I think I had it at 13 games, and that's kind of a rose-colored glasses prediction. Really, I see this team finishing somewhere between anywhere from 10 to 13 games because, of course, you have up games, you have down games, but I really like this schedule a lot. I like the order of it. I like the fact that we have some home division games at the end of the season. Let's see if I can find somewhere where it's pulled up. You all can see it on the screen for those who haven't seen the full schedule so far. Let's see if I can pull this up. They already got the Broncos game officially listed. All right, let's see. We got it. See if I can get it on Twitter. Let's see. I think I got it here. So let's zoom in here and I'll share my screen. And shout out to Easy Does It. Shout out to you for the name, first of all, but shout out to Easy Does It for the $2 super chat. Bro, your breakdowns are so good. Keep it up, dog. I love doing the breakdowns. A lot of the breakdowns didn't get as much views, but the guys who did like the breakdowns, I know that you guys are watching it. So I'm happy to continue to do them. I love doing them. I love learning more about the game. Like it's got me watching like coaches tape, coaches breaking down how to do certain techniques for certain positions. So I like learning about things, and I like learning about the game and breaking things down for you all. And, if anything, you all can learn with me. I never said I was an expert, but I definitely love doing all of the breakdowns. Shout out to She Got Sports. I appreciate you for congratulating me. 5K is crazy, man. It's still crazy to me to think about because, like I said, I had this channel since 2009 making Giants videos. I wasn't really putting my all into it, but to get to 5,000, like 5,000 people to call to, I just saw your comment. This kind of threw me off. Maybe I'll get callers on. I'm trying to only stay on for an hour and a half. I have some things I have to do right after this, but hopefully I can get some callers on during the second half. Hub is probably going to jump on here in about 5 or 6 minutes. But to get to 5,000 subs, man, for like 5,000 people to really click and subscribe to my channel and like watch my videos, to me, that's insane, man. That's really insane. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, Rick. Lord Brunson diss. I like Lord Brunson. I don't he's one of the few Eagles fans that I can stomach watching. But Eagles fans have been kind of out of pocket lately. That video I made reacting to the Devontae Smith thing, a lot of people don't understand that when I post those reaction videos, at least for the draft, I was literally screen capping my live reaction to picks. And people are expecting me to come up with like this long thought out, this long, well thought out, drafted opinion of things when it's literally my live reaction. So I have Eagles fans still commenting on that video. That was my live reaction. I literally have people still commenting on that video telling me you're still salty. Like I'm re-uploading the video every day. And shout out to Nate. Shout out to everybody that has really come through, and all of the guests who've been on here who have, I'm about 1 or 2 subs away from 5K. But shout out to everybody, all of my guests that came on and helped me through all of this off-season draft stuff. I definitely couldn't have done it without you, because it's a lot better when we have other people on. But shout out to Done Deal. That's my personal friend. But a big shout out to Lucas Aiken, man. You're a big supporter of the channel, and definitely I appreciate you. You were my first member, and I hope this channel gets to the point where I'm at 100, hundreds of thousands of subs. But I appreciate you so much for everything you've donated, and shout out to you for the $50 super chat. 5K, nobody deserves it more. Congrats. I appreciate you so much, man. And like I said, you were probably maybe one of my first super chats. I know it's kind of hard to get views on here streaming while other people are streaming. You came through to the Super Bowl and showed love. So I definitely appreciate all of the support that you've given, Lucas. And like I said, people that support me, whether it be financially, whether it be not financially, if you can give, you can give. If not, I always appreciate everybody who can support me in any way. I mean, just to have, again, 5,000 people hit a subscribe button is insane to me. But shout out to Easy Does It for the $5 super chat. I'm more into defense than offense. I don't know why. LOL. By the way, I hope the Giants offensive line holds up. They will be better this year. I know it. I think the offensive line has a chance to take a huge step forward, but it kind of scares me. That right guard spot scares me. Other than that, I think everybody else can improve. It's all up to Shane Lemieux or whoever they stick at right guard, in my opinion. Nate, if you got some, Nate, I don't expect you to, man, listen. Every time you come on here and been a guest host and a guest on the show, you've added to my channel, you've added to the show. So I definitely appreciate you. And if you got time, I'll send you the link so you can hop on, because I kind of want to get some opinions on this schedule that just came out. So I'm sending the StreamYard link over right now if you got time. If not, we'll catch up with me eventually. But yeah, Lucas does support the whole community, man. Lucas is a legend. Bitcoin or not, I don't mess with Bitcoin. I do have Dogecoin, though. I do have Dogecoin. I think they did try to cancel Bitcoin or something, but I do have Dogecoin. And I've like tripled my money on that. I wish I would have put more in it, but I do have a little bit of Dogecoin. But let's get the schedule up here. This is what we're here for. This is what we're here for. Let's see if we can pull this up. Share screen. Let's get this schedule up here. All right, let's see. Let me know if you all can see this schedule right here. So looking at this schedule, I am in grad school, but I'm not in Harvard. I did apply to Harvard. I didn't get in. I see that as their loss, though. See that as their loss. But let's see. Zooming into this schedule here. I think the way we start off with this schedule, I mean, Denver to me is a very winnable game. Washington is a winnable game. We always sweep Washington. So I'm not really worried too much about that. Atlanta, they're all offense, no defense. Adding Kyle Pitts doesn't make their team that much different. New Orleans, they're in a quarterback kind of thing, but who knows? That team has played well with their backup quarterbacks. Dallas, it's always a toss-up. Rams is always going to be tough because of that defense, because of Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey pretty much. The Panthers, Sam Darnold, I'm not scared of Sam Darnold. With the team that we're going to be fielding, I'm not scared. Yeah, and if they get Rodgers, then that's a completely different thing. But right now, I'm just going to assume that they're not. And they're already talking trash to us, saying like Rodgers is going to put up four touchdowns and 500 yards. They don't even have him on the team yet. Like, like let's relax. But I don't. I hope not. I hope I hope they didn't get Rodgers. But even if they did, I still think we can compete with Denver. I still think we can win that game. I'm not necessarily scared of Aaron Rodgers. We've beat him a couple of times in some big games. But right after that, we're going to after the Rams, we're going to Carolina. Wait a second, we got Nate in here. Let me get my headphones synced. But how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Nice to see you, bro.
Yeah, we haven't been on stream together in a while.
It's been a minute. I've been away from YouTube for a little bit, focusing on some other stuff right now.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And then you got that second shot. I just got my first shot.
Oh yeah.
So
So the weird thing is, apparently, the first shot is the bad one for people who have had COVID. The second shot is the one that is terrible for people who haven't had it.
okay, so it's like the reverse. Like if you've had it
Yeah,
before, then the second shot is like nothing.
yeah.
Okay. I'm scared. Rick is always coming with some legendary comments. I don't know what he's
That
talking.
he is. That he is.
Um, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's one thing with Aaron Rodgers and all of these elite players. Like, if we want our team to be good, I have no problem playing against these elite. Like, I can't
Yeah,
wait to play the Chiefs. I
yeah.
really cannot wait to play the Chiefs.
I mean, the thing about the Chiefs is it could be, yes, by a slim
Barely
margin,
made the
actually,
cut. Barely made
by
the
by a
cut.
very slim margin. Yes. Uh, Sorry, that is my computer. If you can hear that, but my my thing with the Chiefs is that could be all sorts. And as much as I'd love to see the progress from the Giants here, like it is what it is.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is still a monster. Those weapons are still super explosive. It could be all sorts. We might pull out a sneaky win there. I'm not confident in it, but I'm just gonna have some fun and watch that game.
So, have you seen the whole schedule like by yourself and like already went
Yeah.
through like? So on this schedule, how many wins do you see out of the 17 games we play now? How many do you
Well,
think?
the thing about that's tough to say is that just like with everything this year, it's going to depend on Jones. You know, it's
Yeah,
so hard to say at this moment with the question marks that we have. Personally, I'm a Jones optimist, not necessarily a Jones proponent, but a Jones optimist. I'm excited to see the progression this year that I hope will be there. But yeah, so if I'm giving like a floor ceiling type deal, which I hate that terminology, but I always
yeah.
find myself dealing in it anyway. If I was gonna give a floor ceiling type deal, I would say floor with the 17 games. I probably 8 win floor. Just
I
because
would hope so.
I have some big expectations for this coaching staff now with these weapons that we have, with the improvements we've made on both sides of the ball, frankly. So I have some big expectations this year for improvement. So 8 win floor, and then ceiling, I would say probably 12.
Okay. I'll give my prediction right after this, but shout out to Easy Does It for the $5 super chat. Our defense this year finna be insane. So
Gosh.
much depth. It really is. And that's pretty much what leads me to we got Hub here, man. What's going on?
Hey, what's up?
Here, what's up, guys? What's up?
But we were just giving our predictions for like our over under kind of wins for the Giants this year. But I'm gonna give mine, and I guess you can give yours right after. Um, when I look at this schedule, I just think back to last year, how this team last year overachieved with the roster that they had. And I think that like we did not fall into the kind of quicksand of our defense was good last year, so we don't need to address it. A lot of Giants fans were saying like this offseason we don't need to do anything to the defense, just try to keep it the same and then address the offense. But how many times as Giants fans have we seen our defense be like really, really good, and the next year we just say we don't need to address defense, and then the next year they're horrible, like
Yeah,
really awful. So they addressed this defense as if it was a weakness, and they were able to address the offense as if it was a weakness. So I'm just seeing, even if Daniel Jones gives us below average quarterback play, if he doesn't give us awful quarterback play, I think this team could make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I really think if Daniel Jones is the 22nd or 23rd best quarterback in the league, we can make the playoffs. So, given that, I really have our win loss kind of thing because 8-8 is kind of below 500 now. I mean, 8-9 is below 500.
Yeah.
I would say our floor is probably 9 wins, and I would say our ceiling is 13.
Wow.
And that's a big margin. And I would say my initial said Daniel Jones needs a girlfriend. I would say my initial gap was between 10 and 13 because when I look at this, you have to adjust. Obviously, like 13 is if everybody stays healthy. If every team on this schedule, obviously, in what is it, May 12th. If every team plays like we expect them to play on May 12th right now, and Aaron Rodgers isn't there, and Atlanta's defense doesn't improve, and Dallas's defense doesn't improve, and all of these things happen, and then of course we get a couple of upsets. That's
Yeah.
where the 13 comes. But I really think if I had to bet, I would say I would bet on 9 or 10 wins. I would really bet on 9 or 10 wins. But
I
I feel like 9 is a big disappointment.
yeah. If I was a betting man, I would probably place the over under at 11.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that because this team, the way when you look at this team on paper, they very well could win 13 or 14 games just by like the talent. Like you look at like what's the weakness of the team. You really can't find a huge weakness besides the question at right guard on the offensive line and Daniel Jones. How is he going to progress? Is he going to be so bad that he holds the team back? But I don't know if you're ready, Hub, to give your kind of predictions.
Yeah, so I'm sticking with what I said before the schedule came out. Whenever the question came up, usually during streams and whatnot, I was like, I see us as like a 10-win team. I honestly see us as like a 10-win team, and I really do believe that. With the schedule out now, I still see us as like a 10, maybe 11-win team. And I even tweeted out, if everything possible goes right, yeah, 12. I know it's only a 1 or 2 game difference from me saying 10 or 11, but that's a pretty big 1 or 2 difference from like being a wild card and winning the division. So I'm just like, yeah, 10-win team. Realistically, if everything really goes right, I could see us being a 12-win team.
Yeah.
What's going on, AJ?
For me, we talked about the offseason and the successes of it, and I think EZ Does It, which, by the way, is an elite YouTube name.
Exactly.
I think EZ Does It hit the nail on the head with the defense because, like you said, a lot of people sort of just said, it's fine, don't do anything to it, which was sort of a misinterpretation of what a lot of people, myself included, were saying, which is that we want to keep that base core of players together. That doesn't mean just stop. You never want to stop improving on either side of the ball. Every offseason, you want to keep getting better. That's just the point. So on defense, I think EZ Does It hit the nail right in the head when he said we got depth. The only real big position of need was edge, and we filled that very well with Azeez Ojulari in the second round, which is a great pick, and then Ellerson Smith to develop alongside him, which is also a nice pick there, and we can talk about him later. But aside from edge, I love that we also did add some good depth. We added some depth on the defensive line after Dalvin left. We got some good players there with Ifedi and Danny Shelton. We added some good corner depth, some really good corner depth in the draft. I really just like what we've done in this offseason to the defense because that was what we were missing last year on defense, depth. After Isaac Yiadom and we had Ryan Lewis, then Madre Harper, it just was not a good situation. And I forget who it was, but someone on a stream at some point said it, and I think the best. They said, the further down you can put Isaac Yiadom on the depth chart, the better. And that is pretty much hitting the nail on the head. So I do love what we did there.
Yeah, my thing is this. Isaac Yiadom last year, for all we want to say of he was like the weak link, it's basically like you have like a team full of like NBA All-Stars, and then you have or like let's say this. You have a team full of all the greatest players in NBA history, and then you have like Bradley Beal there. Is Bradley Beal awful? No.
Diggy, I'm sorry. That just went right over the top there, bro.
I'm trying to come up with a thing. I'm just basically saying right here. Oh, okay, you're not an NBA anyway.
Not even slightly. No.
Okay, so it's
listen,
it's like
Diggs. All he knows is that the Knicks rule New York. That's it.
Yeah. it's basically like this. If you just put like Michael Strahan, Justin Tuck, all of the Lawrence Taylor, everybody there, and then you put Robert Ayers the season that he had a good season with us. Like, is Robert Ayers horrible? No, but I think Isaac Yadam for the most part last year, like we've seen bad corner play, and he wasn't a horrible corner. So to have him as your fifth or sixth corner, that is a huge W. That's like a huge W, and he's not. Like, if he has to start a game, that's not the end of the world.
Yeah. And
I think, oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just going to say the point there is that if he has to start a game, Isaac Yadam is really, really, really good corner depth. If you want to have a guy buried on your depth chart as a corner, he's the kind of guy you want. And we traded, a sixth for him, a seventh, something like that, a seventh round pick for him. That was a great move. But again,
he was our seventh round pick this year, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't think when people trash on him, it's like a reflection of him necessarily. People just, he's a guy that shouldn't be starting. You know, he provided us good enough play. That's just what it was. Yeah. He was the Cam Fleming of the defense there. You know,
pretty much.
He really shouldn't have been starting in the NFL at his position, but he played fine as a transition into our next guy as we continue to move on through this team's future. So I think with the Adam, it's no shot to him. I have nothing against him as a player. I'm glad he's still on the team. He's good depth. But having a Dory Jackson there, then drafting some depth behind them that can still play starting caliber football, like Aaron Robinson, like potentially Rodarius Williams in a couple of years. But those are just the kind of moves that you need to have to make a defense elite. Because injuries happen. It's a violent game. So if you're not preparing for it, you're going to get screwed.
And shout out to Easy Does It for the $5 super chat. Feels like a new culture from top to bottom. Just look at how we traded up and down from the draft and made big signings. This team is finally ready. And that's kind of what causes me to come up with my win total for this year, is because I've always said, like, okay, how many wins do I expect this team to get? Now let's subtract about 4 or 5 because of bad coaching, because of just undisciplined play. Like, how many games have we lost over the last 10 years because of like a stupid penalty, or someone like fumbles the ball, or something really
is the
stupid?
Answer to that question.
So it makes me feel like this team isn't going to be in a situation anymore where they're underachieving severely. Yeah. So that makes me feel a lot better for what we have now at the coaching staff.
And I mean, in terms of the coaching staff, listen, I am fully in agreement with you, and I have a special kind of perspective on this because I am in the age group of Giants fans that were little kids when we last won it all. I was 8 years old when Eli Manning last lifted his Lombardi trophy. So when I tell you that all I have seen as a Giants fan is incompetence, terrible coaching, terrible management, believe you me, I notice a difference with Joe Judge and with how Dave Gettleman has been the last 2 years. It's just an incredible feeling.
You remember like the soft version of Tom Coughlin, like the beat down, battered version of Coughlin.
What I know in reality of those players and coaches is not from watching live, I'll tell you that. It's from like watching old videos and archive stuff and enjoying that in this drought that we've had recently.
Yeah, I think I was 10 or just about to turn 10 in 2007. And then I was going from middle school to high school when we won in 2011. So I think Hub was probably in middle school.
It was 11, 12 was the actual Super Bowl. Yeah, I guess that's either 6
Yeah, you were probably in like 6 or 7.
Yeah, one out of the two.
That's some great math, man. That's some elite math. That's really elite.
Rick, I'm pretty sure that's really wrong.
Listen, man, don't mention math to me right now. My brain is too fried for that. Can't do it. No math. Yeah. No math.
But I mean, one thing I really like about the schedule is that people were complaining, why did the Giants they don't get any home division games until week 12. Yeah. I love that. I love that we get to go home at the end of the season and our division games. Yeah. That gives us the ability to. He was in college. Yeah, he's a lot older than us by about what? Well, I guess he was older than me by like 3 or 4 years. So he's not that much older
not
than me.
That bad.
But He's a lot older than you.
Yeah, by a long shot. Everyone on this platform is older than me. It is what it is. I've accepted it. I've come to terms.
I like
Yeah.
our schedule in general with the way it's scheduled. You talk about not only the divisional games at home towards the end, but just the first half. And I love the fact that our bye is week 10. Like whenever we have a bye that's almost smack dab in the middle, and this is literally in the middle of the season for us with
Yeah.
week 10, that's just the perfect bye week for me. Like the first 9 weeks, most of our games are at home. Majority of them are at home. And I feel like I don't want to get overconfident, but there's only really within the first 9 weeks, like 2, maybe 3 at most games that I'm really terrified of. But
Yeah.
like honestly, not losing sleep over more than 2 or 3 games in the first 9. I think the second half is definitely a bit tougher, and it mostly has to do with the fact that we're away. But like once again, it's I like that we have the divisional guys at home, and the teams that are away, like Tampa Bay, Monday Night Football, that's going to be really fun. Miami, LA, they're gonna be fun challenges, especially Miami for me. Philly, Chicago, I mean, not really in my opinion, but we'll see how it goes. I just like the way it's structured. There's not really
Yeah.
I don't really have a problem with our schedule this year.
Yeah, let's look at like
Yeah.
the West Coast stuff.
And I will say, as we continue to look at the schedule, I think there needs to be an attitude shift amongst Giants fans when we look at these schedules, and as the Giants continue to develop and progress and get back on the road to being a real competitive, relevant football team, there's got to be a little bit of a progression here where we're ready to take on these good teams. And we're
Exactly.
excited to see this team perform in the big moments, and we want primetime games. There's got to be another step. Maybe some fans need to get some confidence this year. Totally understand. Maybe they want to see it really happen before they're sold. But we got to stop maybe saying stuff like, "Oh man, there's so many games on this schedule that we might not win." You can't be doing that. When your team is moving forward, and
I
you
really
got
like the
Joe
fact
Judge,
that
your
2
head
of our
coach,
3 of our
you
primetime
gotta
games are against like the Super Bowl teams. I
Exactly.
love that,
Like
and I don't
Monday
mean that
night,
ironically.
gotta have
Like I actually
some
like
toughness
that.
there, some tenacity as a fan.
Yeah, it's like so awful. Like people are looking at the schedule and they're on Twitter like, "Oh no, we're gonna start off
Oh,
0 and
Twitter.
6." I'm
Oh,
like,
Twitter.
come on now. Like they're like Denver is gonna get Aaron Rodgers and then Bradley Chubb and our offensive line is horrible. And well, listen,
Listen, I love everything that's happened for the Giants so far this offseason because they literally did what I wanted and what I was preaching for them to do. Finish the defense, fix the offense. I feel like they did that in
Yeah.
terms of draft and free agency. And then now with the schedule, what I was asking for was actually Eagles, week 1. I think everybody was. But I was saying I want the Eagles
yeah,
early on and the Eagles late on. I didn't get that, but I got something that's probably even better. Washington early on and then Washington to close out the season because I still feel like they're going to be the team we're really going to battle
Yeah.
against for this
yeah.
division.
They're the
And
team to beat.
as usual, that last week is going to come down and probably decide who gets the division.
And
Quite
guess what? We
possibly.
get the tank. We get the tank at the end of the season by winning.
And by the way, I'm just gonna take a quick detour on this conversation right now. I have no idea how many of these Tom Brady quotes that are circulating the internet right now are actually real, but I just love this last one.
Did you see the one I
retweeted it.
retweeted
Yeah,
or
that's
something?
what I'm looking at. I gotta figure out how to beat the Giants someday. We gotta have some type of rematch now that I'm in Tampa in a championship game. Hell yeah, Tom. Let's do it, bro.
Bro, I literally
I-
retweeted it and I
feel like
tagged him.
he
I'm
really
like, trust,
said that.
bro, trust.
I really feel like he said that. Tom says a lot of things that like you would.
Yeah.
You know what I saw that was really funny to me? The Justin Jefferson interview, where he was like, Joe Burrow is a better quarterback than Kirk Cousins. He basically all but just threw Kirk Cousins under the bus.
I mean, listen, there's the thing about Kirk Cousins is you can defend him all you want, and there is a lot to defend there. A lot of people done film breakdowns saying, "Oh, it's not his fault. His team's letting him down," which is totally fair. But every receiver that has ever spoken up about Kirk Cousins has basically been saying the exact same thing, which is, "Hey, Kirk, can you get your head out of your ass, please?" So
Yeah, I didn't know how to feel about that because like one side of me is like I'm a Justin Jefferson fan, so I'm going to take his side. But the other side of me is like I kind of feel like how Odell made me feel when he was talking about Eli. Like
Yeah,
this guy gets
I
you
see where you're
13,
coming from.
1,400 yards as a rookie, and you
Kirk
throw him under the
Cousins
bus.
and Eli Manning are different.
I'm not saying they're on the same level, but I'm saying you get 1,400 yards with someone.
Yeah, I
as a
get what
rookie,
Diggy is saying.
They
Where
helped
like when
you a
you
lot.
have that historic of a rookie season, like you're
Like he
definitely helped
helps
out
you.
by your QB.
Yeah, I totally understand. But at the same time, that's the sort of thought that I'd have if he was the first one to start talking about it. If Stephon Diggs hadn't been saying the exact same stuff
Yeah.
before he left, then maybe we'd be having a little bit different conversation. But when every single receiver is saying the same thing, red flag.
And you know what? Another thing that's crazy is like he said it like in such a way like he was being completely honest because he said, they said the Vikings were rumored to have interest in Justin Fields. Does that surprise you? He said, well, it doesn't really surprise me because if we could get like that elite quarterback, then we will really be scary. And I'm like, you have a quarterback.
Oh, Justin. Dude,
And
that's
it's like you could tell he
no-no.
wasn't like, I'm gonna like purposely do it. He didn't look like he was
it just
or
came
anything.
out,
It was just like him telling the truth, and I'm like, that's just so
Yeah.
sad, man.
By the way, more elite commentary from Rick Gull
Yeah, Rick
in the
is
chat.
a legend.
I have a condition where my adrenal gland secretes Red Bull into my bloodstream. That's why I'm elite.
That's why he's elite.
I love that.
Well, there's the condition where like your liver makes its own alcohol and stuff, bro. I
Yeah,
could
I've heard
believe
of
that
that.
second one, bro.
Oh man,
I could
I've
believe.
heard
yeah,
I could believe
that's
Rick.
crazy.
Like it takes water and literally makes it into alcohol.
No, you know what condition I want? I want that condition that one kid in Britain has. I have no clue what his name is.
Britain?
Yeah. It's a worthwhile sacrifice for this. So get this. This dude's muscles do not produce lactic acid. So,
So he
he's
can't
not
get
like got
buffed?
super strength or anything, but he
He's
has super
basically on
endurance.
steroids.
He can
Yeah, he's
go
on steroids.
forever. This dude, I forget what his max was. It was something like he ran like 150 miles before he had to stop, and he didn't even feel it. His legs just gave out. It was
Wow.
Yeah,
insanity.
that's not good. Probably don't want that.
That's a superpower, bro.
Yeah, that's basically steroids though. It just gives you more endurance. But here's the Washington football team schedule. So this is probably our top.
Now, before we move on to
competition in my head.
Washington, can you go back to the Giants one real quick?
Oh, let's see. Let's see. Let's go back here. Switch this share. All right. Should be popping up. Okay.
Can we talk about why all of a sudden the Denver Broncos defense is godly? Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's just
why are people out here? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, all right, bro, we opening up 1-0. Obviously, I meant it a little bit as a joke, but I actually mean that we could beat the Broncos. And people are like, man, you underestimating the Broncos, man. Like, listen, y'all, Broncos gonna come in there and they're gonna beat y'all, bro. Don't sleep on that defense. I'm like, I'm not worried about your defense, bro.
I'm
That's-
not worried
what are you
about the
talking
defense.
That game, I'll tell you right now, is 100% going to be the battle of which quarterback sucks less. Daniel Jones or whoever the hell the Broncos start.
No,
That's
exactly.
gonna
No,
be
I'm
what
like,
that
it's
is.
gonna be decided by the offense. Like, I'm not worried about Denver's defense at all.
So let's look at
I'm not necessarily.
They do have those two edge rushers. They do have the two
they have
edge rushers.
Chubb and Vaughn on the field
Listen,
together for the first
Bradley
time in a
Chubb
while.
is gonna pull a hamstring while on the field, and Von Miller is gonna collapse from like a heart attack because he's old.
So their secondary is didn't
Their
their
secondary-
They're
secondary
super talented.
It has an infusion of talent, yeah, but I'm gonna have to see obviously how they perform, just like ours. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
but
It's
I'm
pretty
just
much
I'm
the
just
same
saying,
thing.
like, listen, if you're gonna come out here and be all confident and shoot it all over the place, you gotta know when the limit is, Kush.
They got
Oh
it.
yeah,
They got
I'm
a nice
not out
team,
here.
man.
Listen. I'm just saying why all of a sudden people are acting like the Broncos have the best defense in the world.
Right? Yeah, that's just the Giants effect where people hype up whoever the hell's playing us. I'll say this.
Yeah.
We at this moment, in my opinion, have a better defense than them. I would
Of
say.
course.
And I
And-
agree
and-
with what Tom is saying. We beat Washington twice, who I agree. Washington has a better defense than Denver.
A
I
much
think
better
people
pass
are
rush than
just
Denver.
people tend to look past opponents they don't know much about, And with the Broncos, I feel like we're kind of doing a little bit of that here. That I'll say this. That's a team we should beat. That is not a team we will beat necessarily. That's a team that we should get a W, go 1-0 on. But listen, they have some really good weapons. They have a talented defense. And they picked up a couple of good players this offseason. So let's not go right to Washington right away on Thursday Night Football on Amazon
While
Prime.
I completely agree with exactly what you're saying, that's a team we should beat. The reason I don't say it is because, well, there is no team that we will beat, which I also agree with. We should be saying should beat for every single team on the list that you think we could beat. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't say we will beat them.
Yeah.
So, Nate, let me ask you, and then you can chime in, Hub. Out of all of these games, which ones do you think are like you really don't have to think about, and there's just a winnable game?
Like no thoughts whatsoever.
Like you just look at it immediately, like no, that's a win.
People are not gonna like me for this. Atlanta right off the rip.
Really? Okay.
So when I say we should beat Denver, I mean that in the sense of we're a better team than them. When I say we should beat Atlanta, I mean I find a tough time having an excuse for not beating Atlanta. So Atlanta has a lot of talent on offense. That's very true, but they have no run game. Their offensive line has some big holes in it. They have a massive gap in their entire coaching staff. Their defense is still hot garbage. Their secondary has improved a little, not much. They don't know how to use their linebackers, and they don't have pass rush. If we don't beat Atlanta, I don't know about that. And then moving down,
I was gonna say with the top half, other than the Eagles,
not a whole lot here that I think is an automatic dub.
Chicago.
Yeah, just scroll down for me. Philly, got to be a win. At least one, if not both. And then besides that, the thing about Chicago is they could look very different with a quarterback change. And if this was week 1 through maybe 8, I would 100% agree with you that Chicago should be a win. But week 17 is the time when I would probably expect Fields to be starting. And Fields...
And, have already hit his stride.
Right. And the thing a lot of people fail to understand is they go, oh, Bears quarterback is going to be terrible. There is a possibility, slim though it may be, that the Bears front office have grown brains and said, we just drafted an insanely talented quarterback that doesn't have a whole lot of great experience mentally. Let's not throw him right into the fire when we signed Andy Dalton for that exact reason. So if they play it smart and let Fields sit and get practice reps and practice reps and practice reps and let him adjust to the speed of an NFL defense and just say, hey, Andy Dalton, go die on the field. And then they put Fields in when he's ready, not before. They probably won't Mitch Trubisky him. They've got a great supporting cast for him. The offensive line isn't great, but it's not terrible. He's not going to get killed out there. They've got good weapons. The defense is going to help him out in a lot of situations. Fields, and I think I'm actually going to write an article about this at some point. Fields is in a position to succeed as long as the Bears don't stab him in the back, which is possible.
Very possible. And I think Matt Nagy is one of the most over-criticized coaches I've ever seen because
that's fair.
I really watched Matt Nagy. The reason that the Bears beat us earlier this year was because of Matt Nagy. He got so many people open with his offense, and then he just gets labeled as some awful coach. I just don't get it.
My problem with Nagy as a coach is that with every coach, there needs to be a ratio of X's and O's ability to leader of men. And Matt Nagy's ratio is...
He's Pat Shermer.
Oh, my God. It is wild. That man is a roller coaster. But I think when you do talk about the X and O's of it, if you can get a quarterback in there that can run the system properly, it'll work. You know, they've got the weapons to run it. They've got a good halfback now that can run the ball. It can work. We saw it with Foles and Trubisky when one of them occasionally would decide to be a competent quarterback and just spread the ball around. That offense worked, you know?
Yeah, which is kind of like, it kind of makes me think twice about saying oh, the Bears will have a top 5 pick.
Right.
You have to have horrible quarterback play for them to get that. So
I feel like I'm one of the only Giants fans out there that isn't looking at that pick and going, yeah, let's go. We got the Bears
thinking it'll
pick.
I'm just thinking it'll be a top 15, hopefully maybe. top 10.
I think the Bears pick could be anywhere.
It really
no clue.
Could. They could literally be in like the NFC Championship.
Right. The problem with the Bears is that their range of outcomes is so massive. It could be anywhere. They still have a great defense. They lost a couple of pieces, but it's still a great defense. It's not quite what it was in the 12-4 season, but it's still a great defense. Super solid. They've got a great supporting cast for whoever is under center. And again, the offensive line is meh.
Yeah.
But they have all the tools to be a great team.
Let's pump the brakes a little bit, though. I agree with what you guys are saying. The range on the Bears is a big one. I definitely disagree with saying they could be in the championship game.
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm just saying, like, that's like if they ended up in the championship, I wouldn't be like, whoa, how did the Bears? I would be
like, whoa, how did the Bears end up? I would be completely surprised.
I'll say this:
they have an average defense now. They don't have a great defense anymore. Their defense is very average by any metrics you go.
I think that they have a very good defense. I think it's way above average because their secondary is really, really good.
Well, what do you want to judge on right now? Like, then, if you're gonna say above average, just their secondary?
Their secondary and Khalil Mack by himself,
and they have Roquan Smith.
All right, if we go by pass rush, they're actually below average, 17th in the league.
Yeah, if you want to talk about numbers, but on field and you
but it changes how offensive have to game plan against.
Right.
And then I agree with you, but I think they're like right around an average defense.
I disagree, but the point being,
I think Hub is saying statistically they'll be average, but I think
not just statistically. And I agree they have a good pass rush. Their secondary it lost a few players, man.
Lost one player.
They lost Fuller. Yeah, that's pretty much.
They lost Fuller.
But
sorry, go on.
I was gonna say they got a young corner. I forgot his name.
They have a replacement for him. It's not like they have a massive gaping hole at CB2. The Bears' defense is going to be perfectly fine, I promise. But what I would say about the Bears is I wouldn't go so far as to say I could see them in the NFC Championship, but if the Bears won 11 games, I would not be shocked at all. I would be mildly surprised, but I wouldn't be shocked at all because I think best case scenario for the Bears at present, and this is a little wild, but best case scenario for the Bears is that Justin Fields comes into training camp, he lights it the hell up. He says, Andy Dalton, I don't need you here. Go away. He takes the starting job, and right out the gate, it's success. Yeah. Like Justin Herbert type stuff, proving the doubters wrong, off the rip. He's lighting it up to Allen Robinson. He's lighting it up to Darnell Mooney. He's giving the ball to David Montgomery, and he's doing his thing. Obviously, this is a little bit of a stretch, but it's not by any means impossible. If I had to give like a prediction for the Bears, I'd probably say 7-ish wins, give or take a couple. But their range of outcomes is so wide that I could definitely see a lot of Giants fans being surprised there.
Random question. Yeah. How much do we care about preseason games?
Not at all.
I care a lot. I care a lot about preseason games every year.
Why do we consistently play the Patriots, Jets, and Browns, who are going to be our three preseason
we don't have to go anywhere.
Excuse me. Yeah, I don't know
we don't
why
have to
that
go
is.
Anywhere. Yeah. It's just so we don't have to go anywhere.
I mean, well, we are going to Cleveland.
Travel. I mean, it's not that far to travel. It's not
what about from the other team's perspective then? Like I get the Jets. Why are the Patriots always playing us in preseason? And then for the past couple of years, the Browns as well.
I think these teams is kind of like when training camps happen. Like I think it's like the connections. Yeah.
We gotta take a timeout real quick. I just looked back at chat for the first time in a while. Rick Gull, I remind you of Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, I saw that. He said,
"How? That's a terrifying comparison. Why?
You should be honored."
I mean, I am Russian, so I don't know. Maybe, who knows?
Oh man, he's talking about like this dude is a legend, man.
Yeah.
Metal World Peace.
I'm.
What were we talking about?
As a wise man once said, and that's all I have to say about that.
Exactly.
Done there.
But anyway, I think the Bears are definitely a wild card, and I could see them making the playoffs, and I could see them literally having a top 5 pick. But as far as what I think are the gimmies, I would definitely say one of the Washington football team games because Saquon is going to go for like 200 unless they take him out. It just always happens.
No, Saquon, and I'll consistently say this. Washington hasn't. They've added pieces to their defense, but I haven't added any pieces that makes me say Saquon isn't gonna like just run up the middle.
Washington has never been able to stop our run game. They've never been able to stop. Like
So
when times like when we haven't been able to run the ball, they still couldn't stop the run.
with Washington, my thing about them is that on paper, and that's the key word, on paper, Washington fits against us very well. They should play well against, at least on the defensive side of the ball. Their offense, that's a whole other conversation. But on defense, they should do well against us. They should do well against everybody. I think the Washington Giants is just one of those things. You know, it's like one of those culture games that it's so deeply embedded in the mentality. It's just one of those things. This happens at every level of football. It happens in high school. It happens with college rivalries. There's just some teams that just have another team's number, and I think that's one of them.
Yeah. I mean, like last year there was no reason why Washington shouldn't have had like 8 or 9 sacks against us.
Yeah,
but it just didn't happen.
Yeah, I was
going
to bring that up.
For some reason, blocked them.
Like we talk about pass rush and whatnot. Washington is regarded as one of the better pass rushers, best pass rushing teams in the league. Yet our offensive line did just fine against them.
Like we had Andrew Thomas, Cam Fleming, and Matt Parrott locking up Montez Sweat and Chase Young.
Let's not understate it. That was our offensive line's one of their best games of the season. Let's not rehash
it. It doesn't change the fact that they had it against those guys, which makes no sense.
Andrew Thomas gets benched, and Matt Parrott comes out and plays against Montez Sweat and just locks him up.
It's one of those things.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's the old saying. It's a funny shaped ball,
What's going on,
Ash Money?
But to kind of roll through, I think the Chicago game, the Philly game, I think we split with Chicago and Philly. I just can't say that we sweep the Eagles because of the same thing. I mean, it just seems like for some reason they'll always come up with some weird way.
There'll always be an Evan Ingram drop, Like
in 2011, I think they swept us. I'm pretty sure they swept us in 2011, and they were bragging about it. And we won the Super Bowl, but they just always have our number. I don't get it.
It's the same thing as Washington,
Yeah, but I wanted to switch over to the Washington schedule to see what someone else
is asking an important question. Hub, will you dye your hair if we win the Super Bowl?
What color?
That's a good question.
Pink polka dots.
Well, Rick gotta let me know what color he thinking, man.
Rick, this is an important moment for you. So
the Giants now officially tweeted out the 2021 season schedule with the graphic and preseason included. So
I thought they did that a while
ago.
No, now it's officially tweeted out. It was 7:46, so 2 minutes ago.
Let's see, preseason.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I told you the preseason game: Jets, Browns, Patriots.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that's just the connections that they have, like the people in the building probably.
Right. The pick is in. The pick is in. Rick Gull says blue and red.
That's so
blue and red,
gnarly.
I can see that right now. Just dye it straight up the middle.
I think they're having a top tier negotiation with whoever number one's family is. I think that's what's going on with the rookie numbers. I think they're negotiating can we have number one, because it should not take this long.
Yo, the question is,
have other rookie numbers for other teams been announced?
No. Hold on.
They've all been out. Yeah.
We're distracted by the rookie numbers. The real question: what's going on with Jabril Peppers and Graham Gano? We haven't heard from that in a while, bro.
He's got that number. I think he has number 5.
What would Graham wear?
He would just move to. That's a good question. He probably would have to take the number in the teens or something.
He'll take 8, and Jones will go back to 17.
Nah, I'm already used to DJ 8.
I do not want a quarterback with number 17. I don't want that.
You didn't see the jerseys look clean.
I don't like 17 on a quarterback.
It's better than 8.
Nah, 8 is definitely good, man.
I like 8. I like 8. It looks good when you're running.
8 is greater than 17.
8 is a good number when it's the second or first digit in a 2-digit number. By itself, 8 just doesn't look good.
Nah, DJ and Lamar,
like I said, if I had my way, I would put Kadarius Toney in the backfield and give him number 3, and I will put Saquon on the other side, give him 8. Now they don't look
Why would you
physically
give
similar
Saquon
at
like
all.
Saquon wore
No.
26? He's
They
the
don't give-
embodiment of 26.
they
Yeah,
don't-
Saquon
I
is
know.
26.
I know, but I'm saying like number loyalty aside, they don't look physically similar at all. But just having the defense not know which one of them it is, that would be amazing to me. I would
Matt-
use these number things to my advantage.
Max,
That's
I'll tell
called
you right
getting
now.
too cute.
I'll tell you right now, Max. I want it to be 13. This man has the chance to be the greatest number 13 in franchise history if it is.
That's disgusting.
I mean,
I just don't want. I want that
I've
number
seen
retired
the
just
photoshops
because-
of him in the Giants uniform with 13. I'm like, yo, it looks good.
Oh,
I saw
yeah.
one.
Oh yeah,
I
He's
saw
always
one of
hard
the
for
the color rush too. I'm like, that looks
I
good.
could see Jones in 18.
Do we
honestly.
have a 15? Do we have a 15?
It was Golden Tate. I don't know who it is. now.
Yeah, you know what? Ash Money, I'm with you. Like when I first watched Patrick Mahomes, the 15 didn't feel right, but I've gotten used to it by now.
Yeah. I mean, I would be cool with Azeez Ojulari wearing 15. I hope he doesn't pick a 90 number. That'll be boring to me.
Why don't you want him to wear 13, bro?
I mean,
Why do you think, Kush?
I just don't want to see that number anymore on the field.
He's gonna rock the 13 hard, bro.
Like, it reminds me of Odell. It reminds me of Ramsey's Barden. I just don't want to see any more 13s.
I just saw
It's
what Kush
in
said.
5 years. It's gonna remind you only of Aziz.
I just
I
saw
hope
what
so.
Kush said on the New York Giants post. 17-0 debate a wall.
Exactly. But here we are with the Washington football schedule. We got the Chargers, Giants. We know that part. Bills. I think this could very well be 0-3 for them.
I was about to
And
say
that-
they
and-
have a good like opening 3 right there.
It's
Like,
possible, yeah.
Chargers. I mean, it all
Chargers have a new
depends on
coach.
how.
It's tough to say.
Yeah, it's tough for that. But depending on who Justin Herbert is, if he has a sophomore slump, that just depends on, like, if he ascends, then the Chargers are a serious contender. Like, not necessarily for a Super Bowl, but just
In the
a
playoffs,
serious team. The Bills,
Buffalo's still great.
yeah, the Bills are on a whole
Falcons
different level. They're playing all the first place teams. So, that's what they get for winning their last
Oh
game.
my God, what is this? I'm gonna tag you guys in this. Something for the schedule, like some weird 3D animation.
Oh, I just saw it. What is? Oh
yeah,
no!
since I'm tagging you, you could share it so that people could see as well.
No.
It's
Let's
mad
see.
weird. I don't know what it is.
No,
man.
this ain't it. No.
I just want to know
Let's see.
what
Oh,
exactly
it's
is it.
Fortnite. Oh no.
Oh, that's what it is.
No,
Oh, I was wondering what
Giants.
it was.
No. They're saying drop into the
I'm
schedule.
like, yo, what is
Oh.
this weird animation, bro? It's
Oh, that's
Fortnite.
garbage.
They got to stop.
That's
this
hilarious.
This is bad.
Listen,
No.
all I'm gonna say is the CEO of Fortnite is the ultimate businessman, bro.
It's
this man
Yeah,
is
I'm not going to
stank.
lie.
It's a
He
minute
is.
27 long. I'm 35 seconds in. I can't look away. It's like a terrible train crash that I just can't quite
I
look
don't
away
get it,
from.
man.
Oh,
Oh,
week 11
it's
on
so
Tampa
bad.
Bay, they have a pirate ship there.
Oh. Oh no!
Yeah, I mean-
the Giants' number 1 is dabbing. It's terrible.
That's disgusting.
He's doing some type of weird salsa that's not really a salsa on my screen. right now.
No.
Yeah, Fortnite
Anyway,
is something else.
But yeah, back to this. Yeah, that could definitely be 0-3. It's probably gonna be like 1-2 though.
I think
you know?
they'll start off either 1-2 or 2-1. It all probably the biggest toss up is probably the Chargers game. I don't know how the Chargers will play coming out of the gate.
How do you
but,
think they'll do against us, man?
I just really feel like we have their number, and it's one thing if we were going down and they were going up, but since we're both, I mean, I just can't see Washington beating us. I just don't see it. But at the same time,
me as well. But it's like, man, the backlash I get on Twitter when I say that for Washington fans, bro, it's hilarious.
I don't think we're gonna sweep
I'm
them.
like, Washington fans, I love y'all. But
The thing
yeah,
is-
I was gonna say, Nate, if we don't sweep them, I'd rather win the later season. I'd rather win week 18.
Oh,
than week
yeah.
2.
The
I
thing
don't
is
have a
though,
preference.
like when you look at how we've performed against Washington historically, in 2011 we lost to Washington early in the season. In 2007, and I know people get annoyed at Giants fans like, oh, it's every 4 years. I don't know if you remember, Nate, because you're younger, but 4 years after 2011, Giants fans were saying, yeah, we win every 4 years. Look at this. We lost this game. We won this game. So it happens every 4 years. But the Giants, every time we're like losing a fair amount to Washington, we end up winning a Super Bowl. anytime we're sweeping them, we don't make the playoffs.
Really? What?
Yeah, like anytime we're sweeping them, we're usually awful.
This is all 4 Super Bowl runs, bro.
I can't look back in the 80s. I don't know.
Yeah,
in the past like 15 or 20 years, it's been like that.
no part of this is in my wheelhouse, so I'll defer to the expert here.
Yeah, like 2007, we lost to Washington early. 2011, we lost to them early. But
What about late then?
I think one of those times they swept us. I think so. In 2007, they might have swept us. I don't remember.
Really?
I don't remember at all. Couldn't tell you. But I know some people remember it like it was yesterday because they're older than me, but I don't remember. But moving on to, they play Atlanta and New Orleans. I think we play them back to back too. Atlanta and New Orleans.
What do you think Atlanta's record is going to be?
That's another question mark.
I'm gonna say 7-10.
7-10. That's about right. But the thing is, like, if their offense does what like they drafted Kyle Pitts to do, then a lot of teams just aren't going to be able to keep up with them.
I simply want to see them beat the Eagles week 1. That's it.
Fair.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think the thing people forget, an offense can be really great. A great offense can and will be sunk by a terrible defense and vice versa. Listen, there's a great video out there. It's a John Boy's SB Nation video about the 2010 Chargers, and that's not what's important, but there's a chart in it in which he shows all of the teams that made the playoffs with like ranked offenses and defenses.
Yeah,
and showed which ones didn't.
Yeah, because the Chargers that year were top 10 in both.
That's
teams
what
so awful.
Different discussion, but
this would be legendary. If I ever get some free time, I'll look into doing that. I'll definitely look into doing it.
If you have a great offense, it doesn't matter if your defense is that bad. And the Falcons' defense very well might be that bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they'll be that bad though. When I look at their draft, I think I liked some of the. Let's see who they took. I think because some of the times you expect these defenses to be historically bad, and they're sometimes not that bad. Like Richie Grant, I think is a good player. Yeah, that's about it. That's the only good defender I think they've added to their team.
It's bad. They're not in a good place.
Jalen Mayfield, I
don't
have
like
at
no
all.
type of rush.
Yeah, they don't have a pass rush.
What's their linebackers like?
They have some good linebackers.
They have
Oluokun. They have what's his face, the middle linebacker.
Define good.
Small but speedy. What's his name?
They got Deion Jones.
Deion Jones. Thank you. They have
All
Jones.
LSU
They have
linebackers
Oluokun.
are Pro Bowlers. That's why I'm scared that Dallas got Jabril Cox.
I mean, Dallas. So Dallas really went hard on the linebacking core, right? But if you look at what they've done there, it's very possible that those two picks blow up in their faces. Micah Parsons is like immensely physically talented, but he doesn't really know how to play the position yet. So they got to teach him, and I'm not so sure how confident I am in Dan Quinn's teaching abilities. And then you got Jabril Cox, who, as great a coverage backer as he is, there's a reason he wasn't ranked that high. He's just going to get his ass kicked in the run game. You're an LSU fan, you know.
Yeah, he's not. That's not his game. I mean, he played behind. He didn't play with him. Yeah, he didn't play with Tyler Shelvin. He didn't play with him. But yeah, but he's not. That's not his thing. He's a coverage guy, and I don't know if the Cowboys didn't they go defensive line, interior defense? They got Odigizua, but I still don't think they have enough beef up there to really protect him.
Yeah, I mean,
but as far as the coverage thing goes, he's going to be really good.
I think Parsons, like, he'll be fine if the rest of the defense can pick up the slack for when he makes mental errors, because he's going to make some mental errors a lot. And he's so unrefined as a linebacker in terms of how to attack blocks that if the rest of the defense isn't picking up the slack for him, he's going to get exposed. And we're going to see a lot of Saquon Barkley deep 30, 20, 10 touchdown.
I just really hope that they just like have him like watching Saquon Barkley, or he's like responsible for watching Daniel Jones on the option or something because that's free points and yards.
Yeah.
But I think let's see, where were we? Yeah, I think their schedule right here is a little bit. Who knows who's going to be playing quarterback for Green Bay? But either way, they're getting Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes within 3 weeks of each other. And then they have Tampa Bay right after that. So they have a first place schedule. They're going to be playing all the best teams in the league.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a possibility that New Orleans, Kansas City, Green Bay, back to back to back, depending on how Jameis Winston plays, could be 3 of the toughest games all year, right in a row.
Yeah. Blake Bortles, is he on that? Yeah, I think he is on the Broncos. Yeah, I hope Blake Bortles isn't playing. I don't want to see that. And I used to be a big Blake Bortles fan because like I saw him throw like 30-something touchdowns, and I was like, why does everybody hate him? And then the year after he was
Green Bay.
dying.
He's on Green Bay.
Oh, he's on. Okay, they should if Aaron Rodgers leaves and they don't play Jordan Love, then their franchise is done for about 25 years.
I think that if they don't play him, they just don't believe he's ready yet. Probably.
Oh, yeah, no. You don't draft somebody in the first round, and then the next year someone leaves. You don't draft a quarterback in the first round to develop for 2 years. It's not 2004 anymore. It's not 2003 anymore, man. You can't do that.
Good thing it was late in the first round, though.
The college game has evolved so much that it's too similar, and the NFL game is
not true at all.
I agree with you on some point because I made a video kind of saying that last year where I was like, quarterbacks, there's a reason they're coming out a bit younger than they were 10 years ago. It's because I think they're a bit more prepared. But Jordan Love was very clearly a project QB.
Hold on, time out. College defenses are entirely different from NFL defenses. That's why we have a learning curve in the first place.
No, they are. They're definitely different. But I'm saying, as far as when you drafted a quarterback in 2003, even if he was the first overall pick, you were like, okay, sometimes like Peyton Manning, sometimes these guys, you're like, they're going to be inserted. But that's only if you absolutely had to. Other than that, you're drafting somebody first overall and you're sitting them for 2 years because it's that big of a gap. But
they drafted him in the late first.
I'm not.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like if Aaron Rodgers leaves that team and Green Bay does not see Jordan Love step in,
Diggy,
they're going to burn that.
From everything you've heard out of Green Bay, it doesn't exactly seem like Jordan Love is progressing as he should be.
Yeah, for me, first off, I subscribe with quarterbacks to the mentality of when they're ready, not before. So with Jordan Love, I'm not gonna even if we drafted him and expected him, if I'm on the Packers, right? Even if we drafted him and expected him to play the year after we drafted him because we're like, oh, Aaron Rodgers probably gone, let's insert him in. And even if I expected that, if it's not ready, it's not ready. So whether or not you'd like to draft a guy in the first round and sit him for 2 years, if it's not time, it's not time.
Yeah, but I feel like if he's not, is he ever going to be ready?
Well, listen, I understand
that's a legitimate
that,
question now.
If it's only 2 years in, I'm not gonna shove him in there and expect him to throw 1,000 picks and be like, we tried. I'm gonna say, listen, you have a few years, get it right, and in let's say year 3. If year 3 rolls around and we still don't have a starting quarterback that we're comfortable putting out there, then we're gonna throw you out there. Like if year 3 rolls around and they're throwing out Blake Bortles, then yeah, throw him in there, see what he can do. But I think back to Nathan Peterman on the Bills, and I think about what happened there, and I just think, listen, with guys that are not top flight prospects, the more time you can give them, the better. So
yeah, my thing is this though. Like, I feel like part of developing as a quarterback, no matter how much you sit and watch and develop in practice, is just getting into the games. And the fans and the media are going to tear people apart if they throw a bunch of picks, but you have to get some game experience. And I think if your team is in a situation where, like, if you have receivers, which the Packers are going to have receivers this year, if you have a competent line, Every line in the NFL is competent, but the Giants' offensive line. I hear it all the time. We have the worst in the league. So if you have a competent offensive line, put them in a good situation. You have a competent running game. I think that they should give him a chance. If you feel like you have a good situation there, he's going to develop. That's part of developing.
Well, the thing we're talking about here, the thing we're splitting hairs on, as far as I can tell, is where Jordan Love is. Because you're talking about just throw him in, see what happens. That's
Bortles,
you know what,
like Bortles
Tom,
is a backup level quarterback.
That's an excellent point. But if we're talking about Jordan Love, I think the difference in what we're saying here is that you're looking at it from the understanding of we're not sure what we have in him. Let's see if he can sink or swim. I'm looking at it from the perspective of, okay, we're watching him in camp. We've seen what we've heard and seen from the Packers out of camp about Jordan Love, which is that not looking good. So that's not a throw him out there, sink or swim. That's a throw him out there and he'll sink type moment, which just doesn't help.
I think that's bad. I think if you drafted someone in the first round,
bad. It's terrible.
If you drafted them in the first round and after an entire year going into this camp, if they don't leave this camp in preseason feeling like Jordan Love is like, I don't. Yeah.
You're talking about the classic mentality of, oh, we invested this much into a guy, therefore we must try and put him out there. I don't believe in that. I believe in you can want that. Certainly, that just makes sense. That's your expectation. But in any given moment, you make the decision that is best going to help your team, right? And if throwing Jordan Love out there is that best decision, yeah, sure, give the kid a shot. But if you're watching him in practice and in training camp and seeing what the Packers have been seeing, I'm not going to say, all right, kid, go die, bye. Your career is Dunyan rings. See ya, adios. I'm not going to do that.
Three things, right? So 3 things.
All right.
Taking your bias aside, who's the better quarterback, Joe Burrow or Trevor Lawrence?
Joe Burrow, by far.
Shut up, Dave.
Take your bias out of it, and you still say Burrow.
Stop
it. My bias is very listen. First off, Trevor Lawrence has not played a snap in the NFL. Let's calm down.
Okay, fine.
Let's calm down.
Adjust the question. As prospects, who is better, Joe Burrow or Trevor Lawrence?
Coming into the NFL,
that's not fair.
Who's better?
Coming into the NFL. Coming into the
NFL, who would I take if I wasn't an LSU fan?
Mm-hmm.
I really listen. You guys are going to think I'm biased, but I really would take Joe Burrow. Because Joe Burrow has shown. Listen, just because last year I was someone who was confident in Jalen Hurts because I felt like he could lift the team. I
swear, if you say Joe Burrow because he's a winner, I'm gonna flip my shit.
Listen, Joe Burrow elevates the football team more than Trevor Lawrence does it. Trevor Lawrence,
no.
Listen, a couple of weeks ago, Trevor Lawrence said that he did not need to win.
John, those comments. He said Burrow actually snapped in the NFL through all his ligaments.
Stop.
Listen, a couple of weeks ago, Trevor Lawrence says that he does not need to win a Super Bowl. I'm telling you, this dude has been the golden boy since he was in high school. Intangibles matter in the NFL. They matter.
Yeah, I totally understand that. But if you're talking about a quarterback and you're going to say, oh, Trevor Lawrence doesn't have a competitive mentality, that's ridiculous. All these guys have competitive mentalities.
I'm not saying he's not a competitor, but we have seen people like Jay Cutler who can make every single throw.
No, you are not Jay Cutler.
No, you're not bringing up Jay Cutler for T-Law, bro.
Jay Cutler is
smoking Jay.
Jay Cutler is just as talented throwing the football as anybody I've ever seen, but he didn't care.
Are you telling me that Trevor Lawrence doesn't care? Is that
Come
what you're
on,
saying?
man.
I'm saying he doesn't care as much as Joe Burrow cares. He doesn't elevate his team.
Joe Burrow isn't nearly as good as Trevor Lawrence is. How about that?
He's not as nearly as talented, but that doesn't mean good. There's a difference between good and talented. If Joe Burrow has the greatest college football season of all time,
Joe Burrow also has the greatest college football team of all time.
We just saw Alabama last year. Anyway,
no, the
not
LSU
compare
2020,
not
bro.
a chance.
Or was it 2019? That was literally the greatest
everybody told me that Devontae Smith had the best season of any college player of all time. So I have to defer to that. Alabama.
You need to stop the cap. It was not everybody.
You are just justifying and rationalizing and justifying, dude.
Biggie. Who are you taking, Nate?
Trevor Lawrence, easily. He
We'll
runs
see it in
better.
about
He
2
throws
years.
better. Yeah, it's no. It's
Well,
Trevor
we'll see
Lawrence.
week
About
4
2 years.
Thursday Night Football. We'll see. That's when
Oh,
they match up.
I would love to see that, man.
Oh,
Um,
do not.
My
okay.
second question was this is kind
Whatever.
of another random one.
Appreciate it,
Why
GJ.
is Saturday football a thing now?
I don't care
Money.
about it. I mean, yeah.
And it's listed on the Thursday night. And then finally, the Giants have the first Thursday night football game of the entire season on week 2. How do
The
you feel about
Cowboys
that
do.
early? No, Thursday night football. The first Thursday night
Oh,
football.
you
game.
like the actual
I mean,
show?
I have Amazon Prime, so I'm just happy.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon Prime is. I've got it anyway, so
Yeah.
Apparently, I don't know. I'm looking at NFL Network's tweet. Apparently, it doesn't start showing on Prime until week 5 or something.
Oh. Okay.
Oh yeah, so I'll just
Yeah.
be just watching it however I can watch it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna be on
exactly.
NFL Network.
That's what it is.
Anyway, shout out to Yardley for the $5 super chat. Congrats to 5K. And also, you think
if DJ sucks, not is. Okay.
you think Giants via Bears 2022 first round pick will take a quarterback if DJ sucks this year? Yeah, I think if DJ is like horrible and he makes us like a horrible team because of his play, we're gonna package those picks and move up. Like that's just it.
If he drags this team down, we're 100% moving on. No
Yeah,
doubt.
you don't
somebody
have all
brought
of
up
that capital in that.
And I think it was Ash Money actually last night in my call-in stream brought up a really good question. He's like, what if DJ gets injured again for another 3 or 4 weeks? Like, how do we feel about him? And then he made an add-on. He's like, but it's clear because of those 3 or 4 weeks, we missed a shot at the playoffs. How would you guys feel about that?
I feel the same way I feel about any injury like that. Shit happens. I do not think DJ is injury prone by any stretch. I don't think that's a real problem that we have to be concerned about because both of the plays that we saw this year where he got injured were kind of weird plays where like before I even continue this, Jason Garrett, I swear to God, if you run DJ between the guards one more time, I'm going to end you.
But that was ridiculous.
Right, but with Daniel Jones, both those plays were kind of just weird plays. He got like someone landed on his leg the first time, and the second time he got injured was just because he was playing through the first injury, which you can't really get on him for. And then his rookie season, well, what was it, a high ankle sprain?
Yeah,
high.
That's really normal.
Yeah, that's I don't think Daniel Jones is injury prone. I'm not super concerned about it. I mean, the dude is, as a wise man once said, tougher than a $2 steak. So I don't think we have a softie at quarterback.
I agree with you, and that wasn't the question though. Let's say
if
he
does, I'm getting to it. If he does,
it causes us to miss the playoffs.
It causes us to miss the playoffs. I think that's one of those things where you have to take the emotion out of it, and you have to look at it and say, yes, I know it sucks. I know we missed the playoffs because of it, but if it had happened in another time of the season, right? And it's the same injury, you got to treat it the same way and say, okay, I know it's terrible, but if I wasn't going to get him for it earlier in the season, I shouldn't be getting him for it now.
Yeah, my thing is, if it costs you the season, then guess what? You're like, if we would have had this guy at quarterback, we'd be in the playoffs. So I think that you have to look at this and say, if the dude is missing 7 or 8 games every year, that's a serious issue.
Oh, yeah,
but if he's
totally.
missing 4 or 5 games, I think at that point you're hesitant on giving him the long-term deal, and you just have to let him play it out.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, I'm not worried about him right now, injury-wise.
I think with like injuries, it's so tough because football it's just like that. It's a game that gives itself to injury. It's the nature of the sport. And with quarterbacks in this day and age, there's such a lower risk, just because of all the rules that are there to protect him. So with a guy like Saquon, maybe if this year he has another injury and we have more problems, I'm really having a tough time paying him. But with a guy like Daniel Jones, who we already know is tough as nails, and we already know is at that point, since that's making us miss the playoffs, we know he's our guy. I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah. What were we were saying something before we got on the DJ injury thing.
Hub was giving
the
us
Joe
random
Burrow
questions.
slander. No, the Joe Burrow slander.
We are not opening
That's
this
not
back
slander,
up.
bro.
We are not doing this.
How
No.
is that slander?
How
is that slander?
man?
It
It's
is not slander.
Nah,
Who will have a better
you're just an
person on
LSU
this channel.
fanboy, bro.
Who will have a better career, Joe Burrow or Trevor Lawrence?
It's very too early to tell right now.
Just
I mean-
wildly too early to tell.
But Trevor Lawrence is the golden boy with the golden hair. Who's gonna have the better career between these?
Listen,
two
man,
quarterbacks?
if you think Trevor Lawrence is the golden boy with the golden hair, bro, that's you, bro. You do you.
Yeah,
Listen,
I mean,
Trevor Lawrence is coming into the league healthy. Joe Burrow's coming off of an ACL.
Oh, you're ridiculous.
So I just want to know who will have the better career. And who's
I
going to
can't
win
tell
this
you.
year when they play
the
against
problem,
each other?
It's
the problem with that
second
is
and
that it's
rookie year right now.
impossible to tell.
Urban Meyer is one of their coaches.
And Zach Taylor is his coach.
Joe Brady will be the coach next year.
Bull crap. I'm trying
He
to
will.
censor myself a little bit.
Cynthia
that's
Freeland. I
ridiculous.
don't pay any attention to Cynthia
Cynthia
Freeland and her
Freeland's a moron.
analytics. Like, I
outta
just
here.
don't care. And she has Washington winning 9 games.
That is the most
So-
talking head person in existence. Like that is
I don't know
that
what
is
kind of
why that
analytics you
term
run.
exists.
I don't know
my God.
why. I don't know what kind of analytics she runs.
Yeah.
that
She
makes
was the one with
Washington
like
win this division.
the my algorithm, my system.
Oh, did you guys see
Whatever.
oh man, what is it? You guys saw Zach Wilson's mom, a video of her going around on Twitter or something like that. I didn't get to listen
I've
to
heard
the
about
audio,
it,
but
but I
it was
haven't
like
seen it.
Karen vibes or something. I didn't get to
Yeah.
actually see it.
I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it.
Nobody of any importance, Tom.
Got a
That's
shot,
because
though.
they should treat Joe Burrow. I'm telling you, Cincinnati lucked out, and they got Jamar. I'm telling you, Cincinnati lucked
You
out.
are ridiculous.
I'm
How'd
telling
they luck
you,
out?
You know how they lucked out. They got Joe Burrow there.
That's not lucking out. They had the
Stop.
number 1 overall pick, and
They
he was the best
managed to have
quarterback in
the
the class.
number 1 overall pick in the season that Joe Burrow was coming out.
Out like
Why?
if you go all you know, let me tell you something, Diggy. If you went
The
all the way
Colts
back,
lucked out in
hold on,
1998, bro.
Kush, hold on. If you went all the
The
way back to
Colts
Baker
lucked out in
Mayfield,
1998.
if you went all the way back to Baker Mayfield, outside of like everything him forward, I would take any of those quarterbacks drafted 1 over Joe Burrow.
Oh, that's disrespectful.
110%, yes.
What? Ash Money wants to come on here. Listen, I plan on getting off. And
Yeah, I thought you said you were
somewhere
going
in
for
the
like an
8
hour.
somewhere in the 8:30s. I plan on getting off. But if Ash Money wants to jump on here and slander Joe Burrow, I'm gonna have to defend Joe Burrow some more.
Whenever
out of your
I'm gonna have
mind.
to hop off just now.
You know what-
and then
you know
I
what
gotta
this
hop
is?
back on at 9:30 for Young Guns.
You know
Alright.
what this moment is? This right now with you and Joe Burrow. This is me out here defending Daniel Jones to everyone else in the league, talking about
But
my
Joe Burrow is
optimism.
better than Daniel Jones.
this
Nobody's
moment-
arguing that though.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying. I'm saying it's the same vibe.
But
That's
are any
100%
of you
what this
guys,
is.
by the way, gonna be available for Young Guns tonight or not?
I gotta do some other
Yeah,
stuff,
I
business stuff. That I
I
gotta
have
finish
another
tonight.
AP test tomorrow, so probably
Heard.
not. No.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off of here at around 8:30. But if you got to jump off now, Hub, thanks for coming on. Again, shout out to both of you, Nate and Hub, for being on here all off season every Sunday, doing these mock drafts. And yeah, I'll catch you later.
No problem, man.
I'm
Congrats
sorry.
on 5K, bro.
Why are we not seeing? Oh, okay. Now I finally updated the page
Bro,
and
what
saw
is
the
this
5K.
foolery, bro?
Okay,
What
we're
is
good.
this foolery? What do I
What?
do?
Listen,
Yo, this man, I will say this before I leave, Ash Money. Defend my name. And this man acting like Joe Burrow's God, bro.
What is the argument? I
Listen.
just want to know what the argument is.
Oh, the original question I posed was
who would you take out of college?
coming into the league, right? Between Burrow and Lawrence, who'd you take? Like, take your bias out of it.
There's a right answer here. This isn't an opinion. This is a right answer.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah,
Yes.
all right.
There we
I'm
go.
a
That's
bit
ridiculous.
beat.
Got it in one.
That's ridiculous.
Biggie, are
You're
you being for
ridiculous,
real right
Diggy.
now?
That's
I
ridiculous.
can see the yellow under your hoodie there, Diggy. I can see it.
That's ridiculous, man.
You're ridiculous. I'm sorry. That's terrible.
Let's pull up who's had the greatest college football season of all
Oh
time.
my
at quarterback.
goodness! Oh my god!
You are terrible.
Let's pull it up.
Let's pull up how many wins they had their second.
How
last
many
season in
times
college.
has Trevor Lawrence put up 5,600 passing yards, 60 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions?
How many times has Joe Burrow survived a full NFL season?
LSU was literally one of the most stacked, if not.
I'm sorry, one of
Stacked.
the most.
That's why I correct him. So
Yeah, there you
the
go.
most stacked team of all time in college.
But who made it the best team?
Bro,
The
you could put-
recruiters.
You could put Justin Fields back there, and he'll
No.
be
Yeah, no.
what?
All right, I'm going to
Justin
say
Fields
something
would've
that
choked.
Diggy's going to hate right now. If you put Justin Fields back there, he's either going to be terrible or he's going to make that team even better.
He's going to be terrible.
No.
Justin
No.
Fields is more talented than Joe Burrow in every aspect of the game.
He's more talented running.
If Justin
He's not more
Fields
talented
can
at playing
make
quarterback.
He has a stronger arm, too.
One
Yeah, I
of the-
mean,
if Justin Fields can make Chris Olave look like one of the best receivers in college football,
Chris Olave is one of the best receivers in college football.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Chris
my
Olave
goodness.
is so overrated, man.
Garrett
we'll see.
Wilson is a way better receiver than Chris Olave.
Garrett Wilson
Oh, yeah,
is
he
so
is
much
better.
better. So much
He is
better.
better.
But
But
you know
listen,
what? Chris Olave next
there's a
year is going to be
reason.
Paris Campbell all over again.
And I'm speaking as an Ohio State fan. I could
Oh, you're no. Oh,
Yeah, he is.
Ash.
I
Oh,
can
my
put-
heart that you just said that.
I could put JT Bear in that LSU team and he will win them a
listen, I might have to get you out of here, man.
I
I might have to get you out of here.
I could put
I might have to get you out.
I could put
No.
Dwayne I can put Dwayne Haskins in that LSU team, and he will put up similar numbers.
Man, we could put that random ass dude Diggy 546 back there in that LSU backfield that's gonna run.
I'd have 25 touchdowns.
You'd
I'd
have
have
1,000. You'd do better than Joe Burrow would. Right? You know what's happening right now, Diggy? You are radicalizing me against Joe Burrow. That's what's happening
Joe
right
Burrow's a good.
now. Like, if we continue this conversation, by the end of it, I'm gonna say that Joe Burrow sucks. That's where we're going right now.
Just about to say that.
How many people in the world were probably better players than Michael Jordan, but will never be in the NBA?
I might.
You
have
know
to
why?
leave if
Because
we
they didn't
continue
have the drive that Michael Jordan had.
I might legitimately just have to leave this stream if you continue to make Michael Jordan comparisons.
You're
That's unacceptable.
Joe
That is
Burrow.
Michael Jordan slander. You're slandering MJ.
Dabo Swinney compared Deshaun
Wait a
Watson
minute,
to
wait a
Michael
minute, wait a
Jordan.
minute.
So
Dabo Sweeney's a moron.
Wait a minute.
what were you saying, Ash?
Hub said, "I'm going. Wait, what are you talking about?"
Yeah, because you start bringing up JT Barrett.
Bro, JT Barrett. Bro, JT Barrett.
Oh, okay, here comes the Ohio State fan.
The wide receiver.
battle of the
JT Barrett
bias.
wasn't no. JT Barrett wasn't like a good quarterback. Like, there's a reason why he was
He
on
busted?
the practice squad. On the
Yeah,
season.
there is.
But in college, that dude could go on that LSU team and
He could
and take
run.
'em.
He
and
could
take 'em.
run.
Even Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins put up 50 touchdowns.
Ohio State has the no way, Kush, get out of here.
We're not
You
doing
are-
that, man.
You are not
doing that.
starting this argument.
Dwayne
LeBron
no.
James is.
Wait, what do y'all
listen,
think?
man.
What do y'all think I'm trying to say? I'm just trying to say either one of those quarterbacks would. Well,
I'm sorry,
Dwayne Haskins-
Ohio State, and I'm not entirely sure where they would fall now with Ryan Day, but up until Ryan Day, I can say with complete confidence, Ohio State had the cheapest offense in the history of football.
Oh,
The
yeah.
cheapest offense ever.
We got carried by Ezekiel Elliott the one year we won.
Listen,
You've been carried by
Kadarius
running
Toney,
backs since
Kadarius Toney is a
1947.
better quarterback than JT Barrett.
Who?
Kadarius Toney is a better quarterback than JT Barrett.
That's facts.
All right,
Wait,
but
so
my
it was Terrell Pryor, JT Barrett, and who was the last one?
Braxton Miller.
Braxton Miller. Thank you.
The receiver, two
Yeah.
receivers out of that.
Okay, but Dwayne Haskins could go into LSU, could go to LSU and put up similar.
Dwayne Haskins
Joe
was a bomb.
Peyton Ramsey could have gone into LSU and put up good numbers in that offense.
It's the difference between good numbers and 5,700 yards.
Yeah, you're so impressing me right now. Kyler Murray would have put up twice that.
Kyler Murray would have thrown for 11,000 yards.
Okay, no, you know what I mean. Kyler Murray would have thrown for more yards and actually been able to run.
Kyler
Baker
Murray would have been
Mayfield
able to
probably
seen over the
would've
line.
Had better stats than Joe Burrow that year.
Baker Mayfield couldn't even outrun the Rent-A-Cops.
You know what? Let's take this full circle right now. All right, Trevor Lawrence would have thrown for more yards and rushed for more yards in that offense. No
I
doubt.
don't think Trevor Lawrence would have been able to hold up.
You're out of your mind.
There
You're the most biased. fan
LSU's
ever.
offensive line was not the best offensive line in college football that year at all.
Hey,
It wasn't
Joe
the
Burrow
best
was
in-
running around for his life.
It wasn't the
all
best
year.
in college football, but it was still really good.
Joe Burrow was running for his life a bunch of times.
Dwayne
Oh,
Haskins
you're
is
full of
trash
crap.
in the NFL, but in college at that year, he was like the second best quarterback.
Dwayne Haskins just dropped back and threw to guys who were open by like 10 yards.
Dwayne Haskins.
Downfield.
We're not going to talk about Dwayne Haskins on this stream. Dwayne Haskins
Yeah,
doesn't.
I was just responding to Hubs.
No, I'm sorry. Dwayne Haskins does not deserve the airtime of this stream right now. This is a 5K celebration stream. We are not talking about Dwayne Buskins. No, we're not doing that right now.
That dude should not be. Have the Steelers cut him yet? I'm still waiting for it.
It's got to happen soon. I mean, the man signed, and a week later they said his future with the team is already in question. Like, come on. Dwayne Haskins is the most Ohio State quarterback to ever Ohio State.
If Mike
I hope he takes Ben Roethlisberger's number.
Something's wrong with you.
That would be tremendous. That would be amazing. The great successor.
But yeah, well, Washington. When you look at this schedule, let's get back on topic. I got a couple more minutes. But Washington, how many wins do you see here?
Possible or likely?
Likely.
All right, let's go one by one then. Scroll up for me.
Let's go. We got
Chargers.
I would say one.
I'll give it to them. Giants will say loss because we're Giants fans. Buffalo will say loss. Atlanta will say win. That's 2. New Orleans will say win just because Jameis Winston is.
Yeah.
KC loss. Green Bay loss. Denver win. That's 4. Tampa Bay loss. Carolina win. That's 5. Seattle loss. Vegas win. That's 6. We'll say they split with Dallas, so loss here. Win Philly. That's 7. And then split with Dallas, so that's 8. And then Philly, I think they're going to sweep Philly. I think Philly's terrible.
Last year during that.
So then 9, and then us. Are we going to sweep them or are we going to split?
I think we'll sweep them, but let's just go split for your.
So then 10.
Yeah, I see them at around 10 or 11.
Yeah, 10 and 7. Like, that just makes sense. That feels right.
I see them at 8 wins.
You see them at 8? I mean, they would have to drop a couple of games. I think they're going to beat Tampa Bay this year.
Hold on, go back to
Damn.
y'all had them winning the New Orleans game. I'm not gonna lie.
New Orleans. I really feel like New Orleans could be an elite team. I mean, they always play so well when Drew Brees goes out.
What are you doing in chat right now, Kush? What are you?
Yeah, you got to go ahead and get rid of that comment, man.
What are you?
I don't know how you're going to do it, but you got to get rid of it.
That's unacceptable, Kush. Stop it. That's like there's a line.
I don't have much
you're
confidence in
crossing the line.
anybody to get open against Jalen Ramsey for an entire game. So
Come on.
we don't have that on our team. We don't have that player there.
There's
We had
one
a chance
player
to,
there's one player that wins against Jalen Ramsey consistently, and his name is D Hop.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't see it, man. Like, if we would have gotten one of the big 3, they would have had the potential to one day be that player. But
Hub,
don't
which
have that on
comment?
our
You're thinking about Jalen Ramsey that Kenny would beat him. Just no, unacceptable. I love Kenny Galladay, but that's no.
yeah, Kenny Galladay. Now, would he maybe jump over him in the red zone?
Yeah, we're not talking about that, Ash.
Would he maybe like moss him in the red zone? Maybe. But as far as like an entire game of like getting like 100+ yards, and I don't see that happening.
Yeah, when we play the Rams, let's just eliminate Kenny Galladay from the game.
Ramsey and Donald. So
We have
Kush, what are you saying right now in chat? You just left and all of the standards went through the floor, bro. You gotta just leave right now, Hub. Like, quit while you're behind, bro.
I can't wait to finally listen. The comment is the comment, but I just can't wait to finally watch a Giants receiver finally jump over top of someone and catch the ball. Like,
Sure.
it's been so annoying to
Diggy,
watch all of these short receivers.
I'm gonna say something that you hate right now. Golden Tate did it a couple of times last year.
He did.
Oh, I don't even hate that. I mean,
Okay.
the thing is, like, with Golden Tate and even with Odell, they had to be able to jump off of, like, they had to get momentum and jump and everything.
Yeah.
With Kenny Galladay, he can just, like, easily, I mean, wherever he is on the field, he can go up and get it.
I'm sorry. Are you guys familiar with the term W farming in a group chat where you just say the most obviously correct takes ever? Kush is L farming. Kush is L farming.
He said, Nick Gates, the Aaron Donald stopper.
Yeah, that's as soon as we got Kenny Galladay, I just threw him a whole bunch of fades in Madden. He caught every single one. Gates destroyed. I don't understand why like they tried to switch that narrative that Nick Gates like got beat up so bad by Aaron Donald. Like it just didn't happen that way.
He didn't get beat up, but this is the same thing as Rashawn Slater versus Chase Young. Rashawn Slater did not own Chase Young. Like I see these videos like Rashawn Slater bodies Chase Young. Rashawn Slater kicked Chase Young's ass. I watched that game live. I am a Northwestern fan, unfortunately. He did no such thing.
Yeah.
That is a lie.
Yeah, they're going to
the same
find
thing as
out.
Nick Gates.
They're going to find out week 1 this year or whenever they play each other. I think it's week 1.
Well,
yeah, week 1.
Anyway, though, it is 8:30. I'm going to have to hop off here. So.
Yep. And listen, we're going to hop off right here. It is 8:30. Hub in the chat is saying right here, y'all go check out Young Guns at 9:30. Hub and KB are going to give their takes on the schedule. And again, thanks for 5K. Thanks for everybody that's helped me.
Well deserved,
get here.
man. So well deserved.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, congrats.
And thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Even
but
if you are the most biased Bengals fan I've ever seen in my life.
Listen,
Terrible.
It's going to be crazy with Cincinnati this year. I'll do a whole other stream just breaking down Cincinnati because now they got started. Now they
Just
got
make a
Tyler
second channel for the Bengals, man.
I'm not gonna lie. I like Justin Fields, but I don't want them to start him for like the whole season. I just want him to sit on the bench the whole season.
Yeah, that's what I was
the
saying.
Bengals fans have been a lot more polite than Giants fans. I'll say that. But
I'm sorry. Who's Justin Fields? Don't you mean Bustin Fields? The
All
Ohio
right,
State
we're
guy?
not gonna do this. We're not gonna.
Anyway, thanks everybody for popping into the stream. We're going to call it right here. I got some stuff I got to take care of. Nate's got some stuff. And thanks for coming on, y'all.
Bro.
All right.